Brush Painting for Beginner by Ling Chi from Oriental Art Supply. Today we have a new cameraman. It's Lizzie instead of Evan. And we're doing a snow scene on steel dragon claw. It's a brand new paper, and the color is a gray background for the snow. And we're using, again, the steel colored dragon claw, and then the brush we're using is actually one large combination brush. I'm using Lotus, full Lotus. You can use Super Flow, and then I have a Lotus seed brush, which is small combination brush. You can use definitely with the flow. And then I'm using two supplemental small combination brush. One is flow, one is the I think is bud brush. And these are not necessary. It's just because when I'm filming, then I don't need to wash the brush all the time. So this two brush, one small combination, one large combination. Here is full Lotus and then Lotus seed. You can use Super Flow and Flow brush to sub. And the color I have Vermilion chip color, Bass Bottle ink, and Sakura white. The reason I'm using Sakura white versus any other tube white is this white is much more intense. So if your snow is not intense, then it won't show up. So what I'm doing is, and then I have an emerald green color, tube color. You can use a dark green if you don't have an emerald green. So the first thing is soften the vermilion chips, and then I have this ink here. So I'm pouring the vermilion chip into the ink, so you can see then will eventually become a soft brown color as a shade color. And the other is I'm using ink with the emerald green tube color, also used as a shade color. And then Sakura white, very intense in a dish. So these are the four colors I'm going to use. So this is the composition, finished composition you're going to do. And there is a little tree, and then some minor shade behind it, and then a little house, and then the ground. So to me, it looks hard on all these little elements here, but the hardest one, the most challenging one to me was the snow scene. So I'm going to first to sample a snow scene so you can practice, and then I will show it to you. This is what I'm going to demo first. If you can use your practice paper, get this major things done, then you can do a very simple composition with snow scene. But first I'm going to do a demo like this, and then I will start with this landscape. So I'm using the full Lotus, which is large combination brush. You can use Super Flow. You can see the brush is pretty full. So I have this Sakura white, and then on the side it's already being softened. In the middle is more intense. And then I'm using a blending brush on the side to soften my tip. Once I soften my tip, and I reload the intense white. So here is the mountain. So you can see the body of the brush is down, so you can have this fade away. And then I'm washing this white off. And then I'm using my shade, which is Vermilion and ink. So I'm dipping a little bit in here. And then I'm softening it. So only the tip. And right underneath, I'm going to do the shade to accent the mountain. So this will finish my mountain, and then the shade will make the white popped out. And then underneath, you can just do it. So this alone you can just use as a composition. So without too much linger on this, we're going to start attempting this landscape. So I'm using the Lotus seed brush to do the tree. And you are welcome to use your flow brush. I think a lot of you have the flow brush. So make sure that your tip is very intense for the tree. So it's about 1/3 down to the paper, a little bit higher than a half. So you can see that this is a small group and then another small group underneath. So you don't, so it's in and out. So that's the essence of it. So this small group, and then the third group is a little bit even longer than the second group. And then the third group. So I'm trying to have a spine in the center, so they'll be straight. So then I'm using my another brush which also is a small combination brush. This time I'm using the Flow. You can just wash the other brush, make it clean, but to save time and also less housekeeping. So I'm using this emerald green in ink shade color to accent the white. So I'm here. So right underneath the white, you can see I'm using the dark color to make sure that my white is going to stand out. And then now I'm changing another brush to have my browns, which is a Vermilion ink. So now I'm going to do the spine of this tree, the tree trunk. So make sure that everything is a little bit lighter white on here to representing the snow on the ground. So here is my little tree. And then I'm using the same brush with my light shade color to start painting a horizon. So this triangle is the sketch for my ground. All right, and then I'm going to use the same brush to do a little house. First, I have a little distance house. Use the emerald green and ink. And then dark ink. Build my main house over here. And then I'm rinsing this brush off. And I'm using intense vermilion to show this house is here. A little dot of the house. And then I'm using the white snow. Show the roof. All right, and then I'm using some dry brush to okay, and then I want to make sure this roof is showing with the snow, so I'm adding additional white up here, and then I'm okay, and then intense white. All right, and then I'm going to show you with the large flow brush, or super full, I'm sorry, or full lotus in this case, to do the mountain that I demo at very beginning like that. So I'm loading white generously, especially with the tip and the lid. I blend, and then I go back to add the white. Additional white here. So make sure your body down there is fading away. And then I'm washing off my brush tip of the white. And then I'm using the brown shade with a little vermilion. Make sure it's not too dark. And then only on the tip. So the white, the other color is fading away. So this will make the white pop out more. And then the same brush, I'm using a little bit green shade, which is emerald green with ink. And then this time, that will show the white more. And then the brown. So what it is like I'm using the shade to pop out all the white. So, okay, a little brown shade. All right, so at this time, I can add additional white if they kind of are not intense enough. Make sure your white is zigzagging, not all at once, even off. So you can see this is shorter, longer, and this is shorter, and here is a longer one. All right, this one we finish our snow scene. So this is the original one. This is the one that I just done